before you start thinking, no, the video's not frozen. Howdy. It's me. I'm not dead. I might sound like I'm dead right now. I'm just trying to be quiet. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm alive, and this video was recorded what was it, like a month ago? So, yeah, that's it. It's been a bit of a time jump, so we're gonna ignore that. And I might reference a video that it also doesn't exist yet. Don't worry about it. Just, yeah. Yeah. Also, CapCut decided to put a little watermark on the top of the screen, so you're gonna have to deal with that for the next of the videos, because I'm not paying for a premium. I think that's pretty much it. I'm alive.
Hello, people. I have a headache, and it sucks. I don't really know what else to say. It just sucks. Now you might be asking, why are you recording a video then? Well, the answer to that is maybe not as simple as you might think. You see, most things, or most of the time, a headache would stop me from doing most things. You know, maybe like hanging out with friends or playing some video games. Not really that last one, to be honest. I'd probably still do that while having a headache. But what I'm trying to say here is that a headache couldn't stop me from making a video about what I want to talk about today. Now, at the time of this, I haven't uploaded it yet, but I have recorded a video about me talking about how Peterborough is basically Gotham. And in that time frame, since me recording it and now that there's only more reasons for me to back that up, more awful stuff, that's not the point. What I wanted to say is on that note of just the world being so hostile, I wanted to talk about some hostility that I just ran into, like literally 5 minutes ago, and I couldn't help myself. I had to talk about it. Now, before you say, even though I don't really think there's that many people saying this, but who cares? Yes, this video is going to end up being very similar to more kinds of videos Moist Critical has made. I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. All right. I'm not trying to copy him. I just found this and I genuinely was like, no shot. I have to talk about it. It's so goofy. Um, so basically, I was just scrolling through YouTube, having a somewhat good old time. Not really. I was trying to find stuff to watch. Like I was really bored. And I didn't know I didn't know what to watch. But I found this video. It was a pretty cool concept. It was like 100 days in Minecraft Nether, but like the old Nether, so before it was like survivable. It was pretty cool. It was pretty well done. But I was just looking through the comments. I don't really know why, because I don't know what to watch afterwards, so I was just whatnot. And I found a comment about a dude just saying like, oh, hey, just so happens that like on this version, not the version that the guy was playing on, but on this version, you could breed chickens with nether wart, and you know, there was a way for chickens to spawn in the nether with like pigmen riding on them or whatever. So it's just like, oh yeah, too bad that doesn't exist when you're playing it right now, because like you could use that to have a chicken farm or whatever. And it was like, it was just a, you know, a comment. It wasn't anything crazy. But I was like, oh, really? That was a thing? So I just started looking through the replies to see if anyone else had any more information. And for the most part, it was pretty normal. You know, it was just people being like, yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. Or like, couldn't you do this or whatever? It was just like a conversation. It was a little different from most like comments. It was like more of like a conversation with a bunch of people. I don't know. It was weird. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is something I found in this reply section, and I'm sure you probably know where this is going if you you know, either have watched Moist Critical videos or you've just been on the internet. So it was. I guess I can just show you the messages right here, because they're very silly. It's very silly. So here, I'll pull it up. I gotta establish the lore here first. So here are the comments here. These aren't actually, they don't really, there's nothing to do with, well, it does have something to do with, but it's not super like what am I saying? So these comments right here aren't actually directly involved with what I want to talk about, but they are basically the starting point, the origin point of this whole thing. So yeah, as you can see, it's just a normal conversation about what the guy commented at the top, and just some people replying to it. And you could probably notice that if you've passed, like maybe grade 3, you could probably figure it out that they are misspelling breed as bread. So it's kind of funny. It's a little silly. You're reading it and it says bread instead of breed, and whatever. It's like, who cares? It happens. People can misspell things, and these guys probably aren't that old. And if they are, then it was just a typo. It happens. People mistype things. So yeah, keep this in mind. This one, the first comment or first few that have misspelt the word breed here, because they have truly made the worst mistake known to mankind, and have unknowingly started World War III in this comment section. Now you might be wondering, how the heck could this go wrong? Well, again, if you've been on the internet, you know exactly where this is going. So let me just introduce you to the characters that we have here, because they're truly something to behold. All right, so the setup has been slightly adjusted. You probably couldn't tell, but it's been slightly readjusted so I can see the comments here. Well, I must sound like I'm really dead inside. I'm just trying to be quiet because I have a headache. I said I'm okay. So yeah, so basically here we have our two characters. There's a few, but the main ones are Bean Eater 6923. I'm gonna call him Bean just because it's easier. And then we have who I'm pretty sure is the antagonist, the villain here. Was this Time War P Drive 77? I'm gonna call him Time because I'm not reading that. Anyway, so I'll pull up the lore here. So this starts off with Bean Eater cracking a not super obvious joke. I didn't know it was a joke. I just thought he was misspelling it again, breed again as bread, as the other ones have been. But it was a joke, or he claims it was. I don't know. I don't care if it was or wasn't. But yeah, so he's like, how the hell can you craft bread from chickens? Last time I checked, you could only use wheat. Well, actually, now that I read that, that's a pretty obvious joke. I'm kind of stupid. Yeah, he's just saying, oh, how do you get bread from chickens? Because like people before him were misspelling breed as bread. It's kind of it's a pretty bad joke. I'm gonna be real, but like whatever. It's just a joke. It's nothing, no harm. So okay. So okay, and as I'm rereading this, I'm actually like, it makes sense why I was really confused and I was on my bed just scrolling, because there's a lot of random characters who just come in and like attack Bean for no reason, and then but there's mainly one guy, but there's a few others. I don't know, it's confusing. All right, so then this guy, how do you turn this on? He hops into the conversation and he's like, at Bean, you should work on your reading comprehension. I assume he's like referring to the fact that he misspelled, or well, not misspelled, but like I think what this guy's trying to say is, no, we weren't talking about bread. We were talking about breeding chickens. Yeah, it was a misspell. Like, there's misspellings, but like, come on, man, you should know what we're talking about because it's kind of obvious. I think that's what he's trying to say. I mean, who knows? Considering this is a guy from the internet, he could really just be brain dead and be thinking he's talking about something that makes sense, but really he doesn't. I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. So yeah, he hits him with that, and then Bean replies. He's like, how do you turn this on? Work on your reading comprehension. Got him. So he hits him with a no you, a fat Uno reverse card, and it's pretty obvious he's just being silly. Like, Bean is just joking around. Like, I don't really get what the other guy was trying to say. It's not really like an insult, but it is, but it's not. So Bean just jokes back with them or whatever. So Bean's just being a good sport or whatever, and he's chilling. So then Time Warp or Time Warped. Oh, it is Time Warp Drive. Oh, I can't read. Okay, I figured it out. I know what his name is now. Anyway, so Time here comes back in and he's like, at Bean, reread the post. It says breed, not bread. This one's on you, dude. It's like, I mean, it actually does say bread. It does. It does say bread. I know what it's trying to say. It's trying to say breed. So it's like, yeah, it's implied. You can figure out what it actually means. But he's not technically right, but he is right. Like, he's right on the meaning, but he's not right on the spelling. It was bread. So I don't know why Time decided to hop in here, or if he was trying to back up the guy before who said you should work on your reading comprehension. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But then Bean comes back and he's like, hey, Time, I reread the post, and I was making a simple and obvious joke. I guess it was kind of obvious. I don't know. Regardless, it wasn't really that great. Anyway, very simple, obvious joke about the fact that, the original discussion consistently used the typo bread instead of breed. This one's on you, dude. So he, I guess Bean really likes to use what people say back at them. I guess he really likes to, flip the script, how the tables have turned, kind of thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But he spells it out. He's like, this is what I meant. And like, yeah, I guess now that reading back, and it's pretty obvious that's what he meant. And yeah, it's not really crazy peak comedy, but I see what he was trying to say. So then Time Warp here really starts to get all, I guess, kind of angry, but not really. And he's like, at Bean. Oh yeah, so obvious that no one got the joke in quotation marks. You weren't even replying to anyone. I guess, yeah, but like, he's replying on a threat. But there's multiple comments that are misspelling this, so it's not like he can reply to all of them. It's just a joke, dude. But yeah, I mean, it was a bad joke, but it's like, I don't see why are we so mad? He should have just been like, oh, okay, cool. That's it. That's what Time should have done. I don't know why he's like freaking out over this. I mean, he's not like freaking out quite yet, but he does get a little more heated later. Sorry for the spoiler. So then, Bean comes back and he's like, hey, Time, because replies are required to specifically mention another person. I don't know what he's saying. I think he's saying basically what I just said, which is like, there were multiple people that were screwing that up, like they're making the typo, so he would have had to reply to multiple of them. And it's just, I think that's what he's saying, which is valid, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, Bean's just really out here explaining himself, and he's not really doing anything crazy. He's just hitting some funny, Uno reverse cards on people with the insults. It's goofy, but it's nothing crazy. I don't understand why Time is so like he's getting like aggressive about this, or just like, oh yeah, so obvious. Like, you're just trying to cover up a typo. It's like, dude, who cares? Let's say I made this typo. Let's say I'm Bean and this was, instead of making a joke, I made a typo. I'd just be like, oh ha, I made the typo. Like, I would just joke about the fact that I just made that typo if someone pointed it out, and be like, I'm just like these other comments who screwed it up too. It's just like, I don't, or not even say anything. Why do you need to say anything? It's I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, I don't really get why Time is so, on Bean's ass here, but well, it's the internet, and who may come to expect it. So then some random person called Carter Smith comes into the fighting arena here, and he says, at Bean, okay, should have just replied to one of the people who said bread then, lol. So I guess, yeah, that kind of, we're talking about what I was saying about the fact that you can only reply to one person. There's multiple people who are misspelling it. I don't really know why this guy needed to come in here and say that. Like, dude, you didn't need to do that. You really didn't. Bean did nothing wrong. He just made a slight joke, and Time here is just getting all, you know, his knickers in a knot here, just because, you know, it looked like a joke, or sorry, it didn't look like a joke, but it was a joke, but he's trying to make sure that he's right. But really what they could just do is say, oh, it was a joke, I see, okay. Like, I don't understand why you need to keep, even if it was like even if Bean is covering up for like a genuine typo that he's embarrassed about, who cares? Like, who cares? Just drop it. There's no need to keep going. So then Time comes back and he's like, yes, I assume, because he says at Bean, yes, I would assume he's agreeing with Carter Smith, I think. I'm not sure. But then Bean Eater comes back and he's just being a goof again. He's just like, no, which again, he's just being a kind of a good sport. He's not being like mad at these guys or anything. He's just kind of like, hey, this is what I meant, whatever. And now he's just being goofy. Like, this guy did nothing wrong, but whatever. So for the next little bit, the conversation's pretty normal. It's kind of quiet, and there's just some more talk about the actual comment. Yeah, they're just replying to the comment, the original comment. Nothing crazy. It's literally just about chickens and updates and whatever. Who cares? So then another random dude, this, I'm not even gonna bother giving this guy, you could see it on screen, says that Bean, or, you know, I got the joke, a little smiley face, and he's just like, you know, it's just, you didn't need to say it, but I guess he's just trying to make, you know, Bean feel a little bit better here. And, you know, then this other guy, gassed, it's like gust, but I'm gonna say gassed because I'm not saying gust. But this guy, he's like, you know, at Time, it was pretty obvious. I'm assuming he's referring to the joke. I mean, yeah, I guess it was kind of obvious. I mean, it really depends. I could see it being not obvious, but also obvious at the same time. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really get it at first, but I'm also really stupid, so that's on me. But yeah, it was fairly obvious. And then we have this random guy who just comes in out of nowhere, Crusher, and he just says, at Time, cry bread and cripple your soul. Lightning emoji. I don't know what this guy's trying to do. Perhaps this is some sort of ritual to summon like Jay from Lego Ninjago or something with the lightning or something. He's like, cry bread and cripple your soul, and he hits some spinjitzu or something like that, and like Jay comes out of nowhere, you know, and maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to get Jay to protect Bean Eater here. I don't know. I really don't know what is going on with that, with Crusher's comment here. I couldn't tell you. Maybe it's a reference to a song. I guess that makes sense. If somebody knows what these guys are talking about, please let me know. Or if it's just random, you know, bullshit, then I guess it. But yeah, so he hits them with that. I guess Jay didn't show up and save the day, so the war is still going on. So this next bit, we're starting to get to the end here, and you know, Time seems to have this obsession with this comment, or this, not even this comment, this reply thread. He just hasn't left. Even when he's not arguing with Bean, he's still just commenting and like saying, well, that's not true to certain things about like the chickens and the breeding and whatnot, and updates. And he's just like, well, that's not true. Well, actually, it's just like, I don't know why he's still here. I don't know. But whatever. Anyway, so then he comments again, and he's like, you know, at Gassed, you're the only guy who got the joke, and that's after, you know, there was a comment explaining it, and he's like, nah. Now, I'm pretty sure that, you know, you can understand the joke. Like, I didn't get it right away, but that doesn't mean it's impossible to understand. And I feel like I should have understood that after, like, getting it explained to me. I don't see what the, like, I think he gets it, and I honestly, I highly doubt Gas has even read the stupid trivial argument they've had. So he probably did only read the, you know, the actual original joke and then didn't see the explanation. Not that it was really even explained that much. I mean, it kind of was, but whatever. So yeah, I don't know why Time Warp is still on about this, but okay. So we have a little era, brief era, a few years of peace in the war, and it seems to be okay until Gast hits us with a paragraph, and the guns and bullets, everything. It's the whole shell shock, everything. The whole war has started again. So we got to get back into the trenches and continue reading this stupid reply thread. So he's like, at Time Warp, other people have commented saying that they got the joke, and to be honest, I think the joke just went over your head, and now you're calling everyone else dumb, as a cope to convince yourself that you're the smart one here. If you simply didn't find the joke funny, just say that. I'd completely understand. It's not exactly comedic gold, but you're going so hard on the idea that no one got it and that it didn't make sense. It just seems to me like you lack critical thinking skills and the ability to recognize context clues. So, Gast here just absolutely dunks on Time here, and honestly, I couldn't agree more. This whole thing was stupid. To be honest, I think the one thing I disagree about with Gast is just why is Time responding? You don't even need to say anything, dude. Just don't say anything. Who cares? If I see a joke in the comment section that I don't find funny or don't understand, I'm probably not going to say anything. I mean, maybe I might say, can you elaborate? I don't know, because it might be funny interaction, but for the most part, I'm just going to be like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to say anything. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, way to go, Gast, for being the noble soul to come in here and call out Time for kind of being just an asshole and for like no reason and whatever. So yeah, he hits that, and I'm glad someone said it. I'm truly proud of Gast here. So then the people are still going on about this. Some other guy says, well, at Time, I understood, I got it, and read the rest of the comments. It's not painfully obvious, but it's still noticeable enough, or whatever. Some more people just saying like, hey, look, like, we got it. You're just dumb for not getting it, and it's like, well, I personally, I didn't get it either, but like, and I genuinely, like, I should have gotten that, so I think I'm dumb for that. So me and Time at least are in the same boat here. We're both idiots, except I'll admit it and he won't. But yeah, so again, it seems to go, I don't even know. I think it's peaceful, but then it's not, because then some random account just says, fun fact, per dictionary definition, fun facts are not required to be fun, but merely trivial. So I don't know why this guy came in here to say that. Couldn't tell you. But I guess the only other trivial thing other than the chicken comment at the start is this argument. Maybe he's like one of those, beings in movies and stuff like that, where he like spawns in and he's just like, spits some wisdom, like the only gamer that takes a shower is the gamer that always loses, or something like that, and then just vanishes, and the main characters are like, whoa, that's some crazy knowledge, and they they go on to win the lottery or something like that, or get the victory royale. So I guess that's kind of like he's like the Sensei Wu character here. I don't know. But yeah, so that's the end of the trilogy. I guess after Time saw the slam dunk from Gast, he just probably realized that it is probably for his benefit to just not say anything anymore. Now, to be fair, this is like pretty recent. Like, these comments are like 12 days old, and like the most recent one is like a week ago. So who knows? Maybe Time will make a comeback. Maybe I'll check in on this in like a while and just see, because it's funny. But yeah, I just think it's so dumb. I really think it's so stupid that, like, this just proves my point about the video I was talking about, how dangerous real life is. You could just do something so trivial and it pisses somebody off, and instead of them just being like, oh, I don't really like that, but whatever, I'll just keep going on with my day, they make it their mission to sit down and actually, like, make sure the whole world knows that this is not something that I'm a fan of. it's really stupid because everyone has their things they don't like. I have plenty of things. I'm a human. There's a lot of things in this world that I don't like, and I'm sure I've made myself very clear. I don't like coconuts. I don't like camouflage. I don't like sparkling water. The shebang, right? But just because I don't like that doesn't mean that every time I hear someone, or see somebody walk into a room wearing camo, sipping out of a coconut and cracking open a sparkling water, it doesn't mean that I sit them down and go, hey, look, you're a stupid idiot for liking those things. And you know what? You're a piece of garbage, and you're just dumb. No, I don't do that. I just go, whatever. Unless I know the person or something, and I'm jokingly saying, oh, I hate that, you're weird for liking that. I might do that as a joke if I know the person, but if it's a stranger, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna be like, whatever, I don't like that, but they do. That's fine. It's I just think it's so stupid that people make it their mission to preach for their opinion like it's, the almighty, the all-knowing opinion. It's no. Obviously there's some things in the world that I think we can all objectively agree are there is only one good opinion on it. Stuff killing, bad. Murder, we don't like that. If I went upstairs and killed my dog or something, I think everyone could agree that that was not a cool thing to do, right? So there's a few things like that, but something that I like this and you don't. There's just stuff like that. There's no, there is not. There are multiple opinions. There are not just one singular opinion, right? Then again, it's fine if you disagree with the other opinion. That's okay, but you don't need to unless you know the person or it's supposed to be a conversation. Then yeah, I guess you can preach your point a little bit, but it doesn't mean that it's right or it's the only right thing. And in this case, there is with these comments, there really is no right. I mean, yeah, it was kind of a bad joke. I didn't get it at first. Yeah, but it was a joke. Bean is in the right here, and I guess I'm gonna say Time is in the wrong. He's just being an asshole for no reason. So I guess hopefully we can all agree that, this isn't an opinion moment. We can all agree that for sure Time is just an asshole. But yeah, that's really it. I found this and I wanted to talk about it. And to be honest, funny thing, my headache seems to be disappearing. I'm still talking like I'm dead inside, but it's not as hurting as much. So maybe this just cured my headache. And if that's the case, then you know what? Thank you, Time, and thank you, Bean Eater, for all of this lovely, bickering in the comments here. I appreciate that a lot. Hopefully this helps me make a speedy recovery. But yeah, that's really it. It's pretty goofy, and I had to talk about it because I just stumbled across this completely by chance, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's it. Goodbye.